start it up?
Start and go, and all.
Let's dive into this, because frankly, the whole topic we're going to cover today, content creation, really, this is all about what I call becoming a digital mayor, actually. So I like to throw a spin on it. At the end of the day, we need to start considering ourselves the mayor of our digital worlds, of our digital network, of our communities, from a digital standpoint, though. And I'm gonna really explain what that means. But the whole concept is becoming a trusted advisor, becoming an authority by sharing your knowledge, by sharing what's happening, by spotlighting businesses and other people, by just getting really active with creating information, sharing information. It will elevate you. And you guys, there's a couple concepts in marketing called inbound and outbound marketing. Okay, really everything falls in marketing under those two buckets, inbound and outbound. Outbound marketing is advertising. It's where we're like, hey, look at me, contact me, list with me, buy with me, right? That's difficult because we know advertising is hard, right? It's really hard. So that's outbound marketing. That's like you have like a big horn, you go, hey. Inbound marketing is content marketing. Inbound marketing is where you put information, education, resources, valuable stuff out there on the internet, and people see that and they go, I want to work with Monica. Like, Monica, can you answer this question for me? Legia, can you tell me this? Candida, can you know what I mean? It's where they are. And you guys, I'm gonna just mute everyone real quick, but feel free to unmute yourself at any time. They're reaching out to you because they see what you've done online. And they go, Monica, I saw that report, or I saw that market update you put out on YouTube, or that you put out on social media or on your website. And I've got a question. You talked about how single family homes in Richmond are, they're actually, the inventory is decreasing. Does that mean, like, if I list right now, that would be a good time, or should I wait a couple months for it to decrease even more, so it's even more of a seller's market, right? That's the kind of questions you're going to get people starting to ask you questions. The second someone asks you a question about buying or selling, or about what's going on in the market, that is the best lead you could ever get, because they've already vetted you out. They already see you as an authority. That's why they're asking you the question versus somebody else. You know what I mean? So this is the best type of lead generation that you can do, you guys. And actually, guess how much this costs? It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost anything other than your time. So instead of it having an ROI like lead generation does, where you're paying money to get leads that you have to work, and these people don't know you, they don't know what you know, they don't know anything about you. This is all about ROT, or a return on time, right? Just return on time. So you guys know who I am. You know what I do. I don't need to get too deep into that. You know how awesome Kelly Snowden is, or at least I think she's awesome. You guys will too if you engage with her much. But let me share, does anyone know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? And if you do, great. If you don't, no worries. But he actually, I was sitting, and I took this photo. So he spoke at this conference a few years ago, and then I actually ended up having a conversation with him about this, where he said he finds it truly baffling that the real estate industry on the individual agent level, because the agent level, doesn't understand that they need to become the digital mayor of their town, okay? The digital mayor of their town. Vanessa knows who Gary Vee is, awesome. So the digital mayor of her town, we're gonna get into that. He finds it baffling, right? And you guys, if you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, or if you don't, you guys write that name down and do a search for him later. Just check out some of his social media. You guys, he's built an empire. He's basically an Eastern European Russian immigrant, born in Belarus or somewhere, and you guys, he's now worth probably $500 million because of social media, because of YouTube. It's literally no joke. So a pretty sharp guy, pretty smart guy. He puts out around 100 pieces of content every day, but he's got a team. He's got a full marketing company and ad agency that work for clients, but also work for him, over 1,200 people. So here's the whole concept. It's, if you want to dramatically grow your business, you have to make a shift from, the shift is, you need to shift to being the trusted provider of information for your area or audience. The trusted provider of information, you guys. That sounds pretty simple, right? But you need to be the person that's not only in the know, but then you're sharing what you know. So you're in the know and you're sharing what you know. So it's really, you're a media company first, you're a publisher first, and a realtor second, okay? Media company first and a realtor second. That is the concept, that is the strategy. Let me show you a couple things. This report's about a year old now, pushed out by Zillow. But basically Zillow does these massive consumer studies where they study and where they actually survey tens of thousands of people. Because you guys, by the way, their websites get 200 million plus websites, apps get over 200 million plus unique users every single month. They've got so much data that they're working with that they can really provide some really interesting insights, whether you like Zillow or not, into what motivates people, what they value. And if you look at this study was basically all about asking people what are important agent characteristics. In other words, what do you look for in an agent? Look at the very top thing. Number one, 86% said trustworthiness. They got to be trustworthy. Okay. Number three, at 80%, local market knowledge. And you guys, number five at 70, almost 75%, 74%, positive reputation in the community. And if you think about it, trustworthy, local market knowledge, and positive reputation, good reputation in the community. Now the other ones are like good first initial impression, responsive, respects personal values, right? Those are important things too. But three of the top five revolve around building trust, having a good knowledge, and a good reputation. We can do that through content creation, okay? So becoming the digital mirror of your area or audience, you can do that by creating highly local, valuable content, okay? Distributing and promoting that content and engaging with the community. And that's what we're gonna get into today. And by the way, if you have any questions at any time, feel free to ask. And I wanna share something that the CEO of England Volkers mentioned in a speech he gave. He said, while you have to have neighborhood knowledge, you also have to have a niche or distinguishing factor that blends this knowledge with entertainment or aspirational value that will make you a center of influence, building your following and referral base as a result. So there's really a handful of different types of information that we all share that fall into some basic buckets. There's entertaining stuff, there is educational stuff, right? And then there's like more empathetic stuff. I call it the 3 E's. Entertainment, you're either entertaining somebody, you're educating them, or you're providing some sort of emotional connection or empathy, right? Every single piece of content, article, video, social media post is doing one of those 3 things. You know, you see all these funny things shared, that's entertaining. You see all these articles shared, that's educating. You see people talking about some of the challenges they're going through, and that's empathy, right? That's emotion. So he talks about the entertaining and educating factor. So we need to look at, okay, yep, absolutely. So we can talk about YouTube as well, Marco. So what area or audience do you want to dominate? When I say dominate, it's kind of an aggressive word, but who do we really want to influence, right? I'm going to change that to influence. What area or audience do you want to influence, right? Because you guys, our business is all about influence. The more influence we have, the more people trust us and want to work with us. It's all about influence, right? So how do we generate more influence? Here's the thing, you guys, if we try to appeal to everyone, we end up appealing to almost nobody. You guys have heard that before, right? So it is so true. So I bring up a quote from my favorite author, my favorite marketer, my favorite psychologist, Seth Godin, and he talks about the fact that it makes more sense not to worry about getting big, but worry instead about being important and seeking out the smallest viable audience, okay? The smallest viable audience, because they'll demand you make something special, and if you do, they'll tell their friends. And when I say smallest viable audience, let's just talk about that for a second, you guys. How many people do we need to influence in order to double our business over the next year? Okay, let's say that we're averaging 2 closings a month. Okay, that's 24 closings in a year. How, if we want to, let's say we want to increase our business to 36 closings, so 50% increase, right? That'd be 12 more transactions over the next 12 months. So one more deal a month. How many people do we need to influence to get 12 more deals over the next 12 months? I would argue 12 people. I would argue 12 people. If we can get 12 people to each refer one person to us over a 12-month period, then guess what? We've just increased our business by 50%. You guys imagine if you were working a 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it at a company, and your boss was like, you know what, Monica, I'm going to go ahead and just give you a 50% raise, right? Guess what? We can all give ourselves raises if we look at the concept of just influencing the smallest viable audience. So small number of people, you guys, we don't have to like grow thousands of followers on social media. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. So what we want to figure out is the viability of our audience and what is valuable to them. So I love this concept. 2 days ago, I did a Facebook Live on this, where passion meets practicality. Okay, passion is what excites you, what motivates you, what is super authentic to you, what is something that like you can barely contain yourself emotionally about when you start talking about that concept. You guys, and I know you all have something like that, I guarantee it. The definition of passion is a strong and barely controlled emotion. You guys, what's something that like when you start talking about that, maybe it's your kids, maybe it's I don't know, for me, it's, I love like raspberry pie. I love like Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like I get excited about that stuff. And I would say marketing and technology are fun too. For you guys, it may not be real estate, okay? It may not be real estate. It could be, who knows? But we want to try to tap into that, because the fact is, passion is something that you're really excited about, you're emotional about, you get pumped up about. And then practicality is, well, is it a practical topic? Are there people that actually like to know more about this? Legia said, seeing my kids play sports and dancing and cooking. Yeah, and I think dancing, what a great passion. Is there a large enough audience of people that also really enjoy dancing that you can influence? Imagine if you just you connected with 12 of those people and they got to know you and they loved you for dancing, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden they're like, oh, and like, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I'm in real estate. They're like, oh my gosh, my neighbor's looking to sell. Why don't I connect you guys? Imagine if that happened 12 times. You'd have 12 more deals, you guys. That's the thing. So we're not really focusing on real estate, although we can focus on real estate here for a second. But I'm saying, what is your true passion? Maybe it is something about real estate, but who really has a passion for real estate sales? Probably not a lot of us. We probably have a passion for helping people. We have a passion. I like homes, like beautiful homes, especially, you know what I mean? But actually like selling a home and like working on contracts and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I've been involved in that, you guys. I've done 60 transactions in the early 2000s. Like, for me, it was a lot of work. It was hard, really hard. It wasn't in alignment with me. That's why I moved over more into the marketing technology side, which was a little more of my passion. But at the same time, what I could have done was stayed selling, but really dived a little more into my passion. But of course, 20 years ago, I didn't know any of this stuff. You know what I mean? I wish I knew now, or then what I know now. It'd be a game changer, right? So here's the thing, you guys. Your audience. So I want you to just think about an audience for a second. Candida got a young one there. I love it. It could be geographical in nature, city, zip code, community. It could be a commonality or like a demographic in nature, right? It could be, I really like working, I went through a divorce and I really like working with divorcees because I know the language, I know the challenge that they went through. Or it could be first responders. Maybe you know somebody or you used to be a first responder, whatever that is, right? You can connect with these people a little different level. You could go all in with this group, right? Or maybe it's something that's more commonality based. Maybe you love tennis or yoga, or you make like a mean enchilada and you love like I think I've talked about that before, or you're just really into parenting or cars or technology or whatever that is, gardening, right? Whatever that is, and that is our passion. And then is there a practical audience? Is there a viable audience that would really be excited about that too, that would also be able to help me with my business? You know what I mean? Because we got to think in terms of, okay, if I get too niche, if it's too small of a group, then I don't know if they're actually going to be able to help me with my business, right? So we need to keep that in mind as well. So whatever your group you've identified, we need to look at the opportunity. And so if it's a geographical area, we need to know, like how many homes are in the area, how many are owner occupied versus rental, how many sales in the last 12 months, what's the turnover, right? We got to dive into, you guys, like, what is the opportunity? If I generated, is there a dominant agent in the area? What are they doing? Here's the thing. If I got 1% market share, right? If I was able to like figure out, okay, if I got 1% of 100 deals, what is that? Man, that's only one deal, right? It's only one deal. Maybe that area is not large enough, right? Maybe the opportunity, what if I got 10%? Is that even realistic? If I got 10% of 100 transactions, let's say your community or a community you want to focus in, there's roughly 100 homes that are selling every year there, and your goal is to get 10% market share there. Okay, so that could be 10 transactions, 10 additional transactions a year. What do we need to do to get those transactions? Okay, how do we get in front of these people? So you guys, how do we get access to some of this data? RPR, tax information, the Altos reports or WFG, WFG market reports. This is I could just say MLS, right? The MLS, tax system, right? So whatever that looks like, we can pull that data. And I would just reach out to Kelly, and Kelly will tell you, okay, in this geographical area, there's 2,500 homes, and 40% are renters, 60% owner occupied, 5% turnover, right? Easy stuff. But what we do as soon as we identify whatever that area is, or that passion is that we like, or that niche, or whatever it is, we need to get people's attention, you guys. We have to get their attention. How are we going to get their attention, right? Everything starts with attention. And if we go back to Gary Vaynerchuk here for a second, he talks about how marketers are fighting an attention war, okay? Everything revolves around getting people's attention. And did you know that your attention gets pulled and directed away from whatever you're focusing on over 3,000 times a day because of different advertisements, marketing messages, whatever that is? It's absolutely insane. Your phone trying to grab you, these apps, all of these things, right? Everyone's trying to get your attention. You guys, there's a lot of money in getting the attention of human beings. Haven't you noticed? Commercials, billboards, right? Getting our attention so that we focus on something, and therefore that's where probably our dollars are going to go to. Gary Vaynerchuk calls it, he says the currency of business is attention, okay? He even says, his tagline, he says, I'm not a marketer, I'm just a day trader. He says he day trades attention. That's his whole focus. But if we look at basically a sales funnel, okay, you guys, so hang with me on this. Again, if you have any questions or want to throw anything out, just let me know. But if we look at a sales funnel, and at the bottom is a closing, at the bottom is a accepted contract, whatever that looks like, at the bottom is commission. Guess what needs to happen at the top? We got to get someone's attention, okay? And so once we get someone's attention, we can build up some interest at that point. They go, man, you know what? Aaron really does know a lot about marketing, or Ligia really does know a lot about tennis, or about cooking, or about art, right? Man, I really like what she's doing. You know what I mean? And you know what? I've got a real estate need. I know she's in real estate. There's some desire there. They're going to take action. Everything starts with attention. So what we want to do, the focus is, how do we create value? How do we create content around that group? Okay. So we can look at local lifestyle content, which I think is more valuable than any other content we could put out there. Okay. And here's why. Let me just talk about content for a second. Andrew Davis, the author of a really good book called Brandscaping, talks about content builds relationships, Relationships are built on trust, and trust drives revenue. Trust drives commissions, right? But everything starts with content, with information, with education that you're sharing online. And here's the thing about content and content marketing. Content marketing, it costs 62% less than normal marketing and generates 3 times as many leads, okay? And again, it's difficult. It is difficult because typically we don't even know where to start. And then we don't know what to do with it. And then we don't know where to put it. And so I'm going to help with that right now. But let me ask you a quick question. What percentage of your people value understanding and what do you guys call it in your market? And in the market that I was in when I created this, it's called a BINSR, Buyer Inspection Notice Seller Response. It's basically where the buyer says, hey, we need, seller, will you fix all this stuff? You guys, what is there a specific document that you guys have? Or that process that during the inspection period? So anyway, it's basically end of the inspection period, right? Understanding how to ask for stuff from the seller, right? Let's say you're representing the buyer. So you write an article about that. Or you write an article about, the 16 most delicious, Mexican food restaurants in the Richmond area. Which one of the articles do you think is going to get the most eyeballs and the most use, right? The restaurant, because it's more valuable to people because they have a need. There's more people have a need for wanting to know about food and eating than they do about how to work during the inspection process or inspection period. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so here's the deal. A lot of us on social media, and we are creating content. We're all creating content right now. Every time we post on social media, we're creating content. Every time we email someone, you guys, guess what? That's content. Every time we text message someone, content. Every time we speak, content. Every time. If you follow Gary Vaynerchuk, what he talks about not creating content. He talks about documenting the content you're already creating. Think about how many times you've answered the same question to a buyer or a seller, regardless of whatever that question is. That is content that we could be sharing with others. This was an agent we worked with initially, and this was his Instagram. It was nothing but sold. What kind of content is this, and is this valuable to people? Not really, right? It's not really, because it's not educating, it's not really entertaining, and it's not really emotionally driven at all. Okay, I want to spotlight a couple different people. Tacoma Jones. This is an agent in Tacoma, Washington named Ann Jones, and she is passionate about homes in general. And what she does, if you pull up her Instagram, Tacoma Jones, I think she's got like 10,000 followers now since I took this screenshot. She's just got a lot of pictures of random homes in Tacoma, Washington. Not homes that are for sale, not homes that are listed, not homes where she's looking to maybe, sell those homes, just homes that she thinks are attractive. And she's taking pictures of them, nothing like, she's not getting up in people's grill, but just maybe from the road, takes a picture of a house and posts about it and talks about what she really likes, right? What she really likes about that home. You guys, she is elevating herself just through her sharing of that information. She's educating people and entertaining them with beautiful homes. And she also doesn't just post the photos, she actually writes about the homes as well, what she really likes about them, some neat features about the home. She is now being asked to speak on panels. She's elevated herself. She's now an authority. And by the way, she is no longer just a realtor. She actually now owns her own brokerage. She runs her own brokerage. Okay. And it all really started with her creating a lot of content. Let me spotlight another content creator. And this content creator is actually in the Phoenix, Arizona market, and they call themselves Phoenix Flea. And you guys are familiar with flea markets. I love flea markets, by the way. Man, they're awesome. Anyway, I don't know if you guys have any of those kind of stuff there. Any sort of like outdoor market and stuff where you can just pick up knickknacks, and it's so awesome. Anyways, you guys, these guys created an Instagram account in the Phoenix area for flea markets. So they take pictures and videos of different little things that people were selling and vendors. Do you guys see how many followers they have? 51,000 followers, right? Maybe your passion is in stuff like that, right? It's amazing, and I'll show you how you can convert, right? Because really the goal is in the conversion. Remember, I told you it's not about generating thousands and thousands of followers. It doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt. But what they're doing though is they're creating valuable content for people. Let me show you another example of someone that's when you create content, you essentially create community, right? When you identify your audience, you go, okay, my audience is this community that I either want to get into or I want to start. Maybe there's maybe there is already a community around dancing, maybe, in your area. That probably is. Maybe you just integrate yourself into that community, and then you create maybe a place for them to collaborate and share. Maybe you create hey guys, I'm going to create an email newsletter for everybody with all the upcoming events, dancing opportunities that are happening, maybe some tips, dancing tips, some different dancing studios, whatever. I'll show you guys some of my own tips. I don't know, right? And you start sharing that with those people. Now you become this trusted authority, right? You become the person that's the provider of the information. So instead of just consuming, you're now the one that's providing. So let me showcase these guys. So this is the North Phoenix Moms group. And they've got 7,000 moms in this Facebook group, okay? And all they talk about is like mom stuff, They talk about a lot of mom stuff. Do you think the agent that runs this group of 7,000 moms, do you think she's having to work really hard to generate business? No, right? She's working hard at managing that community and putting valuable content in front of them. And she interviews moms, and she shares different products that moms should have and different strategies for feeding babies and holding them and disciplining and stuff like that. But guess what? The community just kind of brings value as well to each other. It's amazing the collaboration that happens. She runs it all. She does a yearly meetup. And I think she even does some little small monthly meetups where the moms will get together and hang out with their kids in different age ranges. And you guys, it's amazing. She has built a massive, massive business just by getting people together and creating community. Here's an agent in Denver named Moore Zucker. She started just writing. She created a little Instagram account where she was just talking about fun things to do in Denver. And she decided to take that a step further, and she actually created a blog, right? And you guys, when I say create a blog, very easy to do. A blog is just a free website like a WordPress or a Wix or a Weebly. You probably heard of all those, right? And she just came up with a fun little design here, and she named it the Denver Ear. Psst, right? That's the name of it. Hey, psst, I want to tell you something. And she started just posting some of her favorite places to go eat and go relax and to be entertained and to have fun and go hiking and all of these different things here. And next thing you know, she started to get people that started asking her about, hey, we're looking to move to Denver. You seem to know a lot about it. Where would you recommend that we live? Because we love to hike. What happens when you start getting those questions, right? You're already a shoo-in for the business. It's like someone just referred a client to you, but guess who referred it to you? Your website or your blog or your YouTube channel or your Instagram or your Facebook. So I do like the concept of websites. Okay, I do like having a website where you can add information to that on a regular basis. Otherwise known as maybe you have a blog on your website. Maybe you create a dedicated site or blog just for your whatever topic or passion or your community that you want to talk about. And so my whole concept of a website is if the internet's the ocean, then a blog or website's the fishing boat. Social media is the net you're casting, and your content is the bait. It's the lure in the net. Okay, so what you want to do is if you post something there, you can just share it on all your social media platforms. So how do you set up a blog, you guys? WordPress, Wix, Weebly, all free, all free. So WordPress, you can search for any of these in Google. They're all free. I guarantee if you, after this this session, if you jumped onto any of these websites, you could get your blog set up within an hour. And you could even have add your first blog post within an hour. Okay. Very, very easy to use, you guys. If you want to dive into that, happy to help you there. YouTube channel. This is an agent named Chris Prickett in another market that I work in. He started interviewing business owners in his market. He literally would just contact business owners and go, hey, you know what? I've got a YouTube channel. I work in your area. I'm creating content around some of my favorite businesses in the area, and I'd love to interview you. Can I come in and you know, do a little kind of recording around your shop? I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and then we're rocking and rolling. And then I'm going to post it to social media, and it's going to generate more exposure for your business. What do you think that business owner says? Come on in. Free advertising, free marketing. Come on in, right? That easy. What questions is he asking? Well, you're welcome to look at his channel, but he's asking simple questions. Hey, when did you open? How did you get started? What kind of stuff can people find here? You know, that's it. You know, what are your hours? Cool. Thanks so much. You know, and that's it. Guess what happens when he posts a video from, look, if you'll notice, he's got a dentist office, an orthodontics office, a t-shirt company, a sleep company, a veterinarian, right? Guess what happens when he posts their videos? Guess what they do? The veterinarian, the orthodontics office, the dentist office. Of course, they share that video on their social media, on their website. Guess who he gets exposure to? Guess who sees him now? Their entire customer base. Yes, Candida. You know what I mean? Everybody. Is that good for business? By the way, we all know the answer to that. He went from having 0 business within 3 years, the top agent in his market. And it's in a small area, maybe 50,000 people, 30 to 50,000 people in his market. Top agent, you guys. He just put himself out there. What kind of equipment did he use? You guys, he bought a $20 little cord microphone. You can actually see him holding it in that video. Bought a $20 cord microphone that just connects to a phone. And so he's got someone with him, and they're just holding the phone up recording, and he's just going, okay, Chris Prickett here with Prickett TV. Hey, I'm over here at at Pink Tea. They've got a lot of great t-shirts. You can come in here, make your own. Hey, I'm here with the owner, Mark. Hey, Mark, when did you start this business? Well, we started in 2018. Great. Hey, and what kind of stuff, why are people coming in here? What can they find here? You guys, like, I know I make it look easy, but it's kind of easy. But here's the challenge. It's that's not the hard part. The hard part is figuring out what you want to go after, figuring out who you want, what you want to do, what kind of information you want to put out there. But it's really important to figure out who you want to put it out there for. Like Chris, I've been showing you a lot of examples of creating valuable content from a geographical standpoint for people in an area, right? But again, you could do the same thing for people with a certain interest. How about a commonality? How about people that are like really motivated and passionate? How about you just like, man, I'm creating a passion blog. This is for people that are passionate about life. And it's all about just passion. You interview people that are super passionate about stuff, right? How about mindset? People that are all about mindset. How about people that like, you could start, there was an agent that started the 5 a.m. wake up club. And he's like, hey, you guys, 5 a.m. wake up club. We're just gonna jump onto Zoom, 5 a.m. Here's the link. Join if you want. All good if you don't. Guess what? It's got over 1,000 people that have jumped on at one point or another into the 5 a.m. wake up club. It's like an accountability group. Is he generating business from that? Absolutely. He then created a newsletter that he sends out, just once a month, just saying, hey guys, like here were some of the highlights from our 5 a.m. wake up club for the month of March. Look forward to see you guys in April or May. So Nextdoor, you guys are probably on Nextdoor. You guys, another community-based outreach, but I have an agent in my area, and I'm pretty active on Nextdoor. And I'm sure you guys all have Nextdoor. If you don't, jump on Nextdoor, at least add yourself there. I've got an agent in my area, and this agent organizes meetups. Literally just organizes meetups at like the local watering hole. Hey, have happy hour. Grab a drink. Let's all just get together. He doesn't cover any of the costs. He just calls the restaurant or the bar or wherever it is ahead of time, right? Week prior, whatever it is, and says, hey, I'm gonna have a bunch of our neighbors. Putting together a group. A bunch of our neighbors are gonna come to your restaurant. On Friday at 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever that is. So we'll probably have around 30. Will you just I just want to give you a heads up. If you want us to be in a specific area, just let me know. You guys, this agent is getting 40 to 50 people to show up to these like little monthly happy hours. Obviously not now, but when they were running them, you guys, how crazy is that, right? 50 people. All they did was just organize it and then post it on Nextdoor. Hey guys, the next happy hour, the next neighborhood meetup or neighborhood happy hour is May 18th at 6 to 7. Come out, meet your neighbors, have a drink, have an appetizer, whatever, have a soda water. You guys, guess what happens when people show up to this, right? They go, okay, who organized this? Where's Chris at? Where's Marco? Where's Monica? Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for doing this. Monica, by the way, what do you do? Right? You're like, well, I'm all about the community. Like I sell real estate, but I love this community. You know what I mean? That's why I just want to get everyone together, man. Okay, so I think you guys get the point there. A couple of other strategies I want to cover, and then I want to open it up to questions. I might even, if we have some time, share with you a few things. I know Marco wanted to jump into YouTube for a second. But here's some options and ideas of different types of information you can create, again, around a geographical area. So like community type content. So you could again, review, interview local businesses, business owners too. You guys don't forget business owners. Maybe there's like an insurance person or an attorney, or maybe there's just people that are just in business and maybe they don't even own their own business. And you're like, hey, you know what? I know some of these people. Maybe I'll just interview them, ask them what their business is all about, what they do, how I can help them. So I like this, interviewing teachers, talking about some of that stuff. How about this? Stories tucked away around the neighborhood. Again, there's this older lady that is walking. I feel like she just walks all day long around my neighborhood. One time I talked to her. We used to be friendly and say hi, but one time I actually got into a conversation with her. She's been in the neighborhood for over 50 years. And she knew more about my house than I did. She knew more about the neighborhood than I did. Do you think the neighbors would love to know all of her stories? Like, yes, her stories are incredible. They're amazing. She was like, I remember when this kid used to jump over your fence and swim in that pool and all this other stuff. I mean, amazing stuff, right? But maybe you live in a new home community. You could interview the builder, the developer, or whatever. So some really cool stuff like that. One thing I want to share with you, a great resource, is called Google Alerts. Who's used Google Alerts before? Are you familiar with Google Alerts? So alerts.google.com. Alerts.google.com. Okay. And what Google Alerts is Google will notify you as soon as it finds out any new information on any topic. Okay, any information on any topic, you're going, okay, that sounds crazy. Like, I don't even know where to start. Well, here's the thing. Let me give you some examples of some information you could basically get an alert for. So what you do is you go to that website, you type in a keyword or multiple keywords. You could type in first thing I'd start with is your name. I type in my name and I would say, Google, I want you to notify me as soon as you find out any information about me, and I want you to notify me right away via email. So it'll send you an email, and what it'll send you email it with is any images or articles or news or social media or web pages or websites, videos that have your name in them anywhere. It'll send you a link to that article or to that piece of content. Okay. Imagine how you can use this. You can use it to find out information about you. You can use it to find out information about your community, about your clients, about the businesses that your clients own. You can find your competitors. Anytime your competitors do anything online, you get notified. Your colleagues, your company, right? You can set something up for Genesis. Anytime Genesis is mentioned online, stalker stuff, absolutely, Gia, stalker stuff, right? You want to stalk because here's the thing. If you're the digital mayor for whatever that is, so let's just go back to, I've got a client set up a tennis. He's all about tennis, set up a community around tennis. He wants to be notified anytime anything involving tennis affects his community, affects the area. Is there a new tournament coming up, new event, tennis events? He's sharing different tennis tips. If any of the tennis pros post something, he wants to be able to share that. He is the digital mayor for tennis for his community. So whatever that looks like, you want to be the first to know. If you're the first to know, you can be the first to share. And if you're the first to share with people, you're like, they see you as the originating source. And who doesn't want to be tied into that originating source? The person that is the go-to, that knows before everybody else. It's like, you know what? I know I can go to Monica to find out all the new communities that are coming in the area. I don't even need to wait for that to show up on TV or in the news or wherever, because she's already telling me what's going on. I know ahead of time. And all Monica's doing, she set up a Google alert for new home communities enrichment, or builders, or building activity enrichment, or whatever that looks like, right? So do some practice searches, see what the results look like, and then you'll know the type of content that may be emailed to you when there's a new hit. Does that make sense? So again, it's saving a search on Google, and you can save as many as you want. I think I've got like 50 set up. I've got some set up for me, my family members, my company, our competitors, some of my competitors that kind of do what I do around the country. So some really cool stuff, you guys. Okay, let's keep pushing through. I talked about Denver Ear. The amount of traffic that website's generating is absolutely through the roof. This is a little traffic report, but if you look at the top website, you basically look at the top website for the entire brokerage. Basically their website gets more traffic. So they actually, on their website, I don't know if you can notice up here, see there's a real estate link up at the top. You guys all see that? Okay, so that real estate link right up here sends people right to her real estate website. If we go to the next slide, you'll notice that she has gotten almost 11,000 visits to her website. This is her website, Team Denver Homes, from her blog website, because people are clicking on that tab. Guess what happens when they go to her real estate website, right? Is she converting every single one of these 11,000? No, but let's say she converts 1%. 1% of 11,000 is 100 people, 110 people to be exact, right? That's not bad. You guys are familiar, Jason Ferris in Fresno. He created a website, community blog, simple community blog, just a template blog called you call it Frez Yes, instead of Fresno. And what he's done in the last 9 years by sharing valuable information with people, and he uses CRM pretty well, but he shares valuable information. It's all local lifestyle type stuff. He started putting on these little get-togethers, a little party at the park. Hey, all my Frez Yes friends, why don't you guys come to the park? We're going to do a little Frez Yes barbecue. And the first one, I think he had like 15 people show up. Last year, you guys, guess how many people he had show up? He had 30,000 people show up. It's now a festival called the Frez Yes Fest. Search for that in Google, you guys. 30,000. They shut down downtown Fresno. And guess what? Guess who actually organizes this festival now? He doesn't. All these businesses do. These breweries and restaurants and stuff, they organize it for him. Guess who is like the man? You know what I mean? Or the woman, whatever, right? You guys, it all started with just doing one simple thing. one simple thing, and then he just grew it. He grew it. Now we see the results, you know, here we are 8 years later, but still he just grew it. Now he owns his own brokerage and has 100 agents. This is him, Jason Ferris. So really nice guy. Okay, so how do we convert? Let's land this plane, you guys. How do we convert? We've talked about creating information, the value of creating information, sharing it online through blog or social media, whatever it is. You're basically just creating community around a specific topic, and it could be that area, geographical area, or it could be you know, something interest based, whatever that looks like. What we want to do is we want to generate followers, and once we do that, we can basically start to say, hey, you guys, we've got 100 people that are in this, that are following this. Hey, you guys, let's all get together. Let's meet each other. Let's, like, you know, share our recipes, or let's do something together, or let's go. And why don't you connect to an existing event that's already happening? Hey guys, there's actually a big festival or a fair or a farmer's market. Hey, let's all try to meet up there at 10 o'clock for like 30 minutes. And I'll just kind of say hi. You want to get face-to-face with people though still, you guys. That's key. We still have to get face-to-face. That's how we convert. So whether you plan and organize your own event, meetup, clinic, workshop, happy hour, meet and greet, picnic, carnival, gathering, or you attach to an existing one that someone's already creating, whatever you do, you guys, you want to try to get face-to-face with your people, okay? So, and again, there's a lot of great events that are going to be happening as soon as a lot of this lifts. We can attach to those, and we can just say, we can post wherever we have our people. We can say, hey, you guys, let's all meet up over here, okay? So that's it. So here's what I would say, you guys, in conclusion, right? And here's the thing, there's, you know, hopefully I got you guys thinking, got you stimulated to want to start to like go, okay, you know what, I'm going to expand on what things I'm really passionate about, but I want to put a plan in place. And for you, I would say put a plan in place before we just start, like, you know, setting up websites and buying a domain name and creating more accounts. And you know what I mean? Let's put a plan in place, you guys. If you want to put a plan in place, let Kelly know. You know, we'll get together, or put a plan in place on your own. You know what I mean? Just, but really figure out, okay, like here's what I want to set up. Here's what I'm going to name it. And that's what I called here. Come up with like a brand for it if you can, right? This is kind of an advanced thing where it has its own theme, kind of like the Denver ear, where it has a little bit of a logo and it has like a, you know, kind of fun. So set up something, you have a little unique hashtag as well. Might be pretty cool. And you guys, here's the thing. You're going to set this up and you're going to post to it maybe every week or every other week. And you're going to do that consistently, week in, week out, month in, month out. And guess what? You may not get anything, right? It may just be like flying under the radar, and you might get frustrated, but that's when we got to continue to do it. Now, I want you, if you're interested in something like this, definitely reach out to me. And you guys, you could go big with it, or you could just go small with it and just start sharing more valuable information on social media, right? You could just start sharing a weekly market update, or a bi-weekly, or even a monthly market update for Richmond or for El Cerrito or wherever area you're working in. Just start doing that on a regular basis, and then you can start to expand and grow that. But you guys, the point is we need to start somewhere, okay? We need to start somewhere, and people want to be either entertained, they want to be educated. Those are really the two main things. So how can we do that? But I would say this strategy, I absolutely can help with that. The strategy here, though, is to become the digital mayor. You guys all have it in you. You know what to do. It's just how much desire do you have to pursue it? So my next thing was, I'd say, you guys, let's not overthink it. I know we're thinking like crazy right now, but let's not overthink it. Let's just put, you know, how do you win a marathon? You put one foot in front of the next. A lot of times, that's how you do this. That's how Jason built his huge business in real estate, is by doing that. So I would ask you, are you willing to put in the work? So, because you can elevate yourself as that trusted authority. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the trusted authority in real estate. It could be a trusted authority who is constantly there providing awesome information about enchiladas. I'm not even kidding, you guys. I know that sounds ridiculous. It could be the one that's really into fitness, the one that's really into hair or fashion or whatever that is, right? That is what this strategy is all about. I would encourage you to read or listen to an awesome book by, again, my favorite author, Seth Godin, called Tribes. And this whole concept of becoming the digital mayor is a concept about leadership, all about leadership, you guys. And we need to, yeah. So the Gia says she overthinks. You guys, everyone overthinks. We all do. It's easy though to execute when we have a really clear game plan. You know what I mean? When we have a really clear plan, a structure that we can execute on. So you guys, thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. I want to open it up to any questions. Does anybody have any questions for me before we jump off today, or any feedback? Are you guys excited about this? Do you feel like it was valuable for you? Is this something that is really like spinning the wheels that you may dive into a little deeper? If it is, great. If not, no problem. You don't hurt my feelings. Maybe this isn't the right strategy for you, right? Because in order to do this, we have to put ourselves out there and know that it's not going to immediately hit. We're not going to get an immediate response, and we may miss the mark with a lot of things that we do initially, but eventually we're going to hit it, you guys. And that's what it is. It's all about just going, you know what? I know this will work, because the concept is incredibly strong, incredibly valuable. We just need to make sure we've identified our right niche, or tapped into our right passion. You guys, the best way to get in touch with me is through Kelly. Kelly is the source of everything. She is your resource. She'll pull me in to a meeting anytime. Okay, so she'll get one-on-ones booked. If you guys want to dive into this deeper, just ping Kelly, send her a message. Actually, Kelly, would you just post your email and phone number so people can get in touch with you there? Awesome, you guys. So I know we're 1 minute over. I'll give Kelly a second just to post her contact information in chat, you guys, and just copy and paste that. Shoot her an email just so she has your guys' information, and then she'll just respond back to that to make sure you guys have the right email address. And what I would say too is, I talked about market reports. If you guys want to receive a weekly market report every Wednesday morning at 7:30 for your city or any zip code you want, or any cities, really valuable stuff, let Kelly know, and she'll get you all set up on that. Okay, doesn't cost you anything. So, all right, you guys, with that said, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Next week.
We appreciate you. Hey, everybody. This is what we need. Invite a friend. Tell them how great our classes are, because we know that you have about 20, 25 agents or people in the office. And reward Aaron by inviting a friend. And call me, email me. I'll sign you up for everything. We'll get a one-on-one. His calendar's busy, but be ready. I think I'm going to get a taco outfit.
I love it. I love it, you guys. Hey, next
week,
so much. May 7th, we're going to go. This is all about Facebook and Instagram advertising. And I'm going to show you guys how to advertise pretty inexpensively and still get results, you guys. And one other thing too, if you write like an article or a blog post between now and then, I can show you how to really promote that blog post or that article and get thousands of people looking at that and reading it and wanting to reach out to you. So some awesome things we're going to jump into next Thursday. That's May 7th, you guys. Awesome. Until then, we'll see you later. We'll have a replay for you. And I appreciate you guys, investing in yourselves and supporting Kelly and WFG national title. We'll see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye, guys.